Hey, thank you for clicking the video. Please support the channel by subscribing. Let's begin solving 24 divided by -3. Notice that we are dividing two numbers with opposite signs, and there are rules to that. But first, let's solve 24 divided by 3, just 3. Hey, let's ignore the negative sign using the long division method. And I am going to write that right here for space. And remember that your first number is your dividend, and your second number, that will be your divisor, and then your answer will be your quotient. And so when we start our long division, a good way to remember where to put those numbers in their spots for this L-looking symbol or long division, I write div and then end inside the L. So the div is your divisor, and then your end, your dividend, is the number that goes inside. Dividend. There you go. So your long divisions should look like this. You have your divisor outside and your 24 inside. So let me go ahead and erase all this so we can solve our problem. There. So we have 3 outside and 24 inside. So how many times can 3 fit into 2? You can't, but you can fit a lot in 24. So how many times can you fit 3 into 24? So if you can remember from multiplication, 8 times 3 equals 24. So we can fit 3 8 times into 24. So let's go ahead and write 8 above the L, or the division symbol. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply 8 times 3. That's 24. And 24 minus 24 is 0. So your answer is 8. However, we have to follow the rule for division or dividing integers. So the rules for dividing integers are the same as the rules for multiplication integers. So if you're dividing two numbers and they have the same sign, then your answer becomes positive. If you're dividing two numbers with different signs or opposite signs, like the one we're looking at now, 24 divided by -3, your answer will be negative. So your answer will be -8. So your answer is -8. Now, I have that problem there. Let's just erase that one. Let's do this problem. So, oh wow, there's some decimals in the way. We need to take care of that. Okay, anytime you're dividing decimals, we have to use this trick. So let's go ahead and write this as a long division problem. So we know this 0.10 is our dividend, and this -0.5 is our divisor, and then the answer is our quotient. That's not a U, that's a V. Quotient. There. So let's go ahead and erase all this. and write our dividend inside the L, or the long division symbol. And then our divisor, it's outside, and we're not looking into our signs yet. So it's 0.5, our divisor, and our dividend is 0.10. So what you'll do is you'll move the decimal 1 to the right, and then anything you do outside the division sign, you do the same for the inside the division sign, or the L. So you move the decimal right one time, and then for your divisor, and then your dividend also experience the same thing. You move the decimal to the right one time. So your problem will look like this. We can take the decimal off. So now we're looking at something interesting. Notice how the divisor is bigger than the dividend, and that's not good. So we're going to have to do something here. So can 5 go into 5? Can 5 go into 1? You cannot. So let's go ahead and write 0. Now, let me write this a little bit above here so we can have space. So we have 5. Oops. Yeah, we need space. Let me just write it here. 5 divided by 1. Oh, 1 divided by 5, in other words. So it looks like this. 1 divided by 5. Interesting. So how many times can 5 go into 1? You can't, so we'll just write 0. Next, we multiply 0 times 5, and that will give us what? 0. And now 1 minus 0 is 1. And then we can't fit 5 into 1. So we're going to have to add a 0. So we're going to go ahead and add our decimal. So we'll also add our decimal above the L here. And we need a 0. And so give it to the 1. So now you have 10. So how many times can 5 go into 10? 2. So you'll write 2 above the L. And now 2, let me circle this, 2 times 5 gives you what? 10. And 10 minus 10 is 0. So your answer is 0.2. Now, notice that we are subtracting, we're dividing two numbers with opposite signs. So going back to the rule, if you are dividing two numbers with opposite signs or different, then your answer will be negative. So we are looking at two numbers. We're dividing two numbers with opposite signs. So our answer will be negative. So your answer is negative 0.2. All right, last problem. Negative 6 divided by 15. We have a similar situation here, just like this problem that we just solved. The dividend is smaller than the divisor. So let's go ahead and set this up for long division. Our divisor is outside and our dividend is inside, and we are not looking into the symbols just yet. So how many times can 15 fit into 6? You can't, so we'll just add a 0, and then we multiply 0 times 15, that is 0. So 6 minus 0 is 6. And so can we fit 15 into 6? You cannot. So we have to add our decimal or 0, and now we have to add a decimal above the division symbol. So we give the 0 to our 6, so it becomes 60. So how many times can we fit 15 into 60? 4. Because 15 times 4, let me just write it this way. 15 times 4, 4, 5, 6 is 60. So I'll just write 4 up here. And so 4 times 15 is 60. 4 times 15 is 60. And 60 minus 60 is 0. So your answer is 0.4. Now, we are dividing two numbers with opposite signs. So our answer will be negative because the rule states that if the signs of the numbers you are dividing are different, the answer will be negative. So your answer will be negative 0.4. There you go. Easy.